taking a break here on Doug Chat. I think if we got the technology working, Drew, who got off work early, which is pretty cool, is been able to Skype in. You there, Drew?
I am indeed here.
Wow. See, now that is cool. Drew is at his apartment at home. He Skyped in. So you got a question for Chris about this? Because you're a Fios guy now. You were a Cablevision guy.
I was never technically a Cablevision guy.
Well, we won't bust you.
No, I'm just happy that my CNBC finally got on, or MSNBC finally got on to Fios. I don't think it was on for a long time.
Okay, so here's the question, Drew. If you had Cablevision, would you drop Cablevision for, if you had a house, you live in an apartment, for Dish or, some kind of Dish system, or would you go to Fios if you didn't already have it?
Well, I'm a little biased only because I've been using Verizon Internet for so long that's why I eventually got Fios anyway.
Yep.
But I don't understand any of these stupid games with all the, one station's not going to be carried on one carrier and this and that. It seems crazy to me. We used to get these channels for free over the airwaves.
Well, you can still get them free.
Take an ABC on our cable.
Well, you can still get things for free. I watch a lot of TV over the air, uncompressed digital HD with powered rabbit ears.
Right. Well, that's basically what they would. I guess if you're an ABC subscriber or a kind of Cablevision subscriber, you might have to do that going forward, because if they really do go through with this, nuclear option, which I don't think they would, that's going to be your course of action.
I was just going to ask you, do you think this is going to get to the point where people in the Cablevision subscriber regions around the country are not going to be able to watch the Oscars Sunday?
I don't think we'll get to that point. I just think there's too much money to lose for everybody involved to not have a deal work. You know what I mean? Like, no matter what the parameters of the deal that they work out it will be, it will still be way better than not having ABC on Cablevision and millions of dollars being lost because people can't watch it. And, New York's the number one market. If Cablevision, if the Oscars aren't on in New York, they don't get good ratings anyway. Bear in mind, they've been dropping. Last year it went up about 10%, but it was still bad. Imagine what they would be without New York. I just think that's so ridiculous. No one will let this happen, I don't think.
So how many more times do you think this is going to happen before people get fed up with the Dolans and Cablevision?
I think they're already fed up, but the problem is there's no real option. You could get, right now that's the problem. There's no alternative. They have you. Cablevision has you. And you can't really do anything. You could get, if you have, like you said, if you have a house, you could maybe get DirecTV, but, it's not nearly as good, and it's a lot more money, and you don't get the internet, or what. It's just not, the thing that's convenient about Cablevision is, you get everything together, like Time Warner. I have my cable, my internet, my phone, it all comes on one bill. It's reasonably priced, even though the price went up about $30 between this year and last year for no reason, and I canceled a bunch of stuff because of it, but, it is what it is. That's the deal. You really have no other choice here. And like Drew was saying, he gets his internet through there. Until there's an easier way to get internet that doesn't go through a cable company that most people could get, then, they're going to continue to exist. But I do feel like eventually there's going to come a time when they're going to have to severely shift their pricing or their product because, frankly, you're not going to need a television eventually. You're not going to need cable eventually, and you'll just need your internet. What are they going to do? Charge $100 for whatever it just seems a little ridiculous.
So let's imagine 5 years down the road, because technological changes have been happening so rapidly. It's unbelievable to think that I just got a new Droid phone,
right?
And it's like 100 times better than the Voyager I had just 2 years ago.
That?
Huh?
When did you get that?
I got it Wednesday, and I couldn't show it to you because it came in the mail FedEx to my job because somebody had to sign for it, and I just started playing with it last night.
Don't talk about that on the
air. So let's look down the road 5 years, Chris. What do you think the future of television viewing is going to be?
I do think it's going to be something where you're watching everything on your television, but it's internet based. You know what I mean? Like if you have a television, I think it'll be an internet, like you could still get a big television, like you said, like a big monitor or a big screen, but it'll basically be through through the internet. You can watch anything you want at any time. And it's not just the cable companies that I don't want to say you feel bad for these major companies that make millions and millions of dollars and suck us dry of all our money, but you got to feel a little bad for these media companies, and it's in all formats. It's in movies, it's in television, it's in print. Everything is, the consumer has gotten such an ease of information now where we could get anything we want at any time that it's kind of like we're outgrowing the media companies, and they can't figure out how to make money off of us now because we're just going too fast for them, and they have to scrounge and figure out and try to get as much as they can while they can. I mean, Hulu, I don't want to quote you numbers because I kind of heard this secondhand today.
Okay.
But Hulu, it gets millions of viewers every month, and they can't even they're losing money.
How are they losing money?
Watching.
How are they losing money? Everybody I know.
Because they haven't figured out a way to do a pay model, and they don't want to make everything pay because then you risk losing what you have. You know what I mean? Like
right.
You can't, which is what the newspapers are doing, and cable is kind of in that same boat because in the end, all cable company is a middleman. They're not doing anything. They're just giving you what someone else did.
Right.
If I was a network, frankly, if I was ABC, I would say, okay, you know what? We don't need you anymore. And I thought NBC was going to do this with Comcast, or Comcast was going to do this with NBC, where say, you know what, we're not going to have NBC on anymore. It's not going to be a network on television. It's going to be on the Internet, and go ahead, here you go. Get it whenever you want, whenever you want it. And if I was at ABC right now, I would be seriously thinking of saying to Cablevision, you know what, screw you. We're going to throw the Oscars up online live because they could do that. They have the technology. You can watch it live on your Internet. And if you have Cablevision, good luck. Go ahead and go sign online, and you can watch it on your computer. It's not as ideal as maybe watching it on your TV right now. And maybe if you're a Cablevision subscriber, your Internet might be really crappy. But, whatever. If you have Fios, or that's Verizon, and you just watch it there. If I was ABC, I would think of doing that because then you really take there's no hammer there for Cablevision.
So I think in the future, go ahead, Drew.
What if Cablevision decided to goof around and shut down the ABC website during the Oscars?
I thought maybe they could do that, but I just don't even think that's legal, frankly.
China.
It's not like we're not in China, It's not like they can just shut down Google and stuff.
So I think the future of TV is, I think TVs are going to be sold as IP devices.
Right.
So you plug in your phone, it has your TV, just like you do an IP phone, it has a unique IP address, and boom, you connect, and that's how you get your TV. Boom, done. And you won't even you'll just need pipe coming into your house, you'll pay somebody for access, and that's it.
I think that's definitely right. I think that's what's going to happen. So, but I wouldn't get too upset about it. I know people at home listening or on their phones listening or wherever they're listening because now you can listen on anything. I wouldn't get too upset. I'm sure the Oscars are still going to air. I'm sure Lost is still going to air. I'm sure everything is still going to air. And if not, cancel Cablevision and go subscribe to the Verizon Fios because it has a very big overlap, I feel like. So, if you're on Long Island, you can get Fios, so do it.
Yeah, I can't get Fios. It's not available where I live. So Cablevision is the only game in town for me.
Oh, well, then you better find a friend with Fios or Time Warner.
No. I don't need it because I've got the rabbit ears. I can watch.
Okay,
I get a better picture than a lot of people do with cable.
Good. There you go. I just think, like we said, though, these things usually end up. With the Food Network one, that took Food Network off. But Food Network is Food Network. People really like it, but it's not a network.
Right.
It's not ABC. It's like, this is a free channel. It's over the air. They're not going to get rid of it. You can't, it's like, the idea that it would even happen is ridiculous. It's just trying to scare people into, taking sides and calling and doing all the things. Like you said, it sounded like a Republican talking point there.